Do you remember the Ford Puma that was built from 1997 to 2001 as a small sporty coupe on the Fiesta platform? Well, that one is surely gone. But now the Ford Puma is back. But this time, rather as a crossover, as a small SUV, still on the Ford Fiesta platform, but definitely a little bit different than before. Exterior and interior tour as you know it here on Autogefühl. Let's go! In the front we can see a Fiesta resemblance, yes, but it's put a little bit higher in this crossover style. And what a beautiful Thomas blue color here. My favorite color, definitely. That's why we call it Thomas blue in Autogefühl. By the way, always subscribe to our channel here if you haven't done so far, then you can join us for the newest reviews. This one is the ST line. There we have a sportier style here with this black front grille and also stronger lower bumper. So the ST line definitely fits that one very well. So then it comes a little bit closer to the initial old Ford Puma. We also love their definitely design-wise. Was also a small design icon. The length is 4 meters 19, 13'7" or 165 inches. And the interesting thing is, it is about 18 centimeters longer than a smaller Ford EcoSport and 33 centimeters shorter than the bigger Ford Kuga. So the Puma is indeed in between the EcoSport and the Kuga. So why not? I think that's also a wise decision. As I said, on the Fiesta platform, this ST line here also has a badge right there, sporty style with a lower bumper. This one also gets a sport suspension. You can also get a base suspension, of course, ST line then with a sport suspension. If that one can be recommended, we have to wait for the driving review to tell you more about that. Biggest wheels here available are 19-inch, also equipped with that car, and that of course looks pretty massive. Then those painted wheel arches in the ST line, the normal look would be the crossover wheel arches in plastic. Then this coupe style somewhat right there. Also quite strong shoulders, so indeed it's very interesting from design. And this bow that goes right here, round design lines right there. Overall pretty likable from the design, and the tail lamps always start way in the side profile. The only thing I don't like right here, are those rubber covers here at the lower doors, at the sills here. So this could be a little bit higher. As for the build quality, other than that, especially in this color, lovely. Ford also went a little bit more daring at the rear here with those three-dimensional tail lamps, also with this transparent glass cover. That looks pretty fancy. Big Puma logo. Then the ST line again with the sportier lower bumper, and glad they did not go for any fake exhaust. Ford calls this honest design, and we can agree to that. So this is also on the other side, pretty nicely covered real exhaust tip. So on the hood we have a 1-liter 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine with 125 or with 155 horsepower, and then, as we see it right here, with a mild hybrid concept, so you can have at some recuperation at some point, and also sailing or coasting function with a very, very small battery. Interesting that they also now go the M halfway. Alternatively, there would be a 1.5-liter diesel, also with 125 horsepower. So small engines, not too much choice, but again, they try to keep the price also low. And again, since it is on the Fiesta platform, they of course share a lot of the technologies. Now to the interior, pretty thick door handles, also with keyless entry function, door closing sound. Yeah, it sounds quite okay. Then, inside of the doors, this one the ST line with sporty red contour stitches right there. There's a leatherette cover, soft at the inside of the doors. Hardback is just right here. There, of course, they try to save some money. Very shallow, there's inside door pockets here, so I'm not sure if that holds a lot. Also thin materials. ST line badge to give it a little bit more spice, definitely. And also those sport seats you see with fabric on the inside, and I guess that should be leatherette on the outside. Yeah, maybe some animals, well, I think they split sometimes animal skin and leatherette parts, but you cannot really differentiate what's what. But the majority is definitely fabric. Interesting design idea. And then also with the red contrast stitches. Again, the base seat would be having a little bit less shoulder support. Then also red contrast stitches at the inside of the steering wheel, flat bottom, sporty style, perforated sides. Then also some red accentuations at the inside of the air vents. So a lovely structure. Then this has this carbon fiber style. Of course, it's not real carbon fiber, it's a style. And the soft touch on the top dashboard, that is also guaranteed in this case. So good that I thought of that. Aluminum pedals we also have. Yeah, that's of course what you need to have with the sportier ST line. Now the question is when I get inside. This is still a small car. And first seating test is, well, I have to say it is somewhat, like in Ford Fiesta, there you feel the platform difference. You sit a little bit higher, yes, so that's good that you sit a little bit more upright. This will give you a little bit more comfort. We have put the seat all the way low. The headroom I have is, it gets really close. I do exactly fit in here with 1.86 m or 6'1", but again, that comes quite close, especially with this panoramic roof. So let's see, we can also close this shade manually. And you can also slide it open, this panoramic roof, but it's not properly powered here at the moment. Well, but first of all, interesting, first impression. Maybe it's not the most comfortable car. We also know that from a Fiesta. If you're a tall person, if you're a little bit smaller, then you won't have a problem. But if you're a little bit taller, as I am, then maybe, in the long run, I don't know. But at least you sit a little bit more upright than the Fiesta. That could also be a first advantage here for the Puma. So, interior overview, you can also move that steering wheel up and down and in and out. And then you see those new 12.3-inch digital instruments. Unfortunately, the car is not properly powered at the moment. There we can show you too much of that. Maybe we open and close the door, and maybe sometimes we can see, yeah, there it is. There's a visualization of the 12.3-inch. Oh, with a Puma. That's nicely done with that logo there. Brings some more emotional touch to this car. Why not? Pretty interesting. Then this central screen there in the middle part, this, is a little bit attached off there, but that's the way that you can easier control it here. Also maybe, do something while driving. And their new systems are actually quite good. There are better ones, yes, but they do the job definitely. Phone connection, either Bluetooth, or there's also now on the mobile apps, you can actually also use Apple CarPlay or the Android Auto. But so far we cannot use the car internal map when we have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connected. Volume knob here with some cheap rubber around, so they have to increase the build quality there a little bit. This one, of course, all Fiesta style, also with lower down a little bit with the climate unit. And again, the build quality here is not as I would like to see it, but again, it also keeps being a budget car, so you have to make some compromises. In the front, there's an open space also for your smartphone with an inductive charging pad, for example. 12-volt power supply next to USB supply for connecting your smartphone. And then there's here in this case a 6-speed manual gearbox. If we go further down, there's a manual handbrake. Yes, I always need that when I'm, driving with Cam Block together and we're doing our drifts. And then there are some cup holders. They are also somewhat adaptive and also have a little illumination. And last but not least, there's a small armrest, but the whole middle console is also pretty loosely attached. And then there's some space underneath and another USB supply. Now what about the rear? When I'm sitting in the front, first of all, look, same ST styling than in the front. This one, of course, then are all hardback, and here the materials are rather simple with those Ford interiors. Interiors not really where Ford is leading, definitely have to admit that. Then the rest styling also with those red contrast stitches. But you see, it looks a little bit more upright than in the Fiesta. But what about the space I really have when taking a seat behind me as I would be driving? Again, it's not a long car. The package is not too bad. I mean, 4.19 meters, but when you think about, for example, the Honda E, yeah, we've just been sitting in that one. That was a better package. So I hit the back seat here with my knees, so cannot sit here with 4 tall adults after each other. Headroom, it does exactly fit, but I'm inside this rear panoramic roof, which you can also open and close with this shade. Very interesting. So yeah, a little bit cramped in here, not too different than the one from the Fiesta. Then you just need a bigger car or one with a better package. Yeah, that's just how it is. So the seating position itself, if you have shorter legs, it's actually quite comfortable. That's good because it's also upright, but then again, not much space for your legs. But when we think about some of longer cars, they are not better in the package. Isofix at the outside here for installing child seats. And then we flip the seats already from here, and that works in a 2/3, 1/3 split. Of course, we'll soon also take a look at the truck. Let's open it right here with this hatch. And wow, what's that? Interesting. Plant transport, and that would be, you know, one thing you can do with this so-called mega box. This is very interesting. So this actually for something that can get wet. So I just put out the plant, you know, for a second, but that could be used for plant transport indeed. And if you remove this cover here, you can even use this lower screw here and open it, and then the water rinses actually through to the... I mean, I can't believe that. Is that really true? Let's see. I mean, yeah, I can't believe that. It's really going through like this. That's really funny. So, pretty amazing system. I haven't seen that. Maybe, yeah, the Jeep Wrangler does offer something of function, but not in the trunk. So, pretty interesting new use case. I mean, why not trying something different? The normal trunk, of course, is like here. This one would be the cover, and then you can have it more even, like this. Then you can also flip the seats from here, move them over. And this is also an interesting solution here, that the top cover right there is placed on the top part of the windshield. It's an interesting system how it is attached, but the good thing is that when you open it, you have direct open access right here, as you've shown it, for example, for flipping the seats. And when you close the trunk then again, then you see it does stay on the top and also shuts off, that you know, don't have any oh, what's in there. But also in the SD line here, the window is a little bit darker. That also seals off from views. And as an alternative, we always love to show you different variations of a car. This one here is not then the SD line anymore. This one is called Titanium X. You can see this one also has those crossover wheel arches, so not painted in the wheel color, also a different color here, but that one you can pick freely, definitely. So which style would you actually prefer? This one here or the rather sporty ST line? You see also the front grille is a little bit different. Also the lower bumper is not as sporty, but definitely also somewhat distinctive. This you also equipped then again with the MF system. And have you seen again this LED structure in the front headlamps? Also very interesting. So it's not, let's say clean, but definitely unique, the styling they found there with the front headlamps. And the 3/4 rear perspective, also very interesting. Those ones here, by the way, are 18-inch wheels, so a little bit smaller than we've seen with the ST line, but still both quite big for such a small vehicle. You can also get smaller ones if comfort is more important to you. This one then also fitted with the normal suspension. So, what's your take here on the exterior design? Please discuss it in the comments. And different interior, this one then without the ST line, titanium and nice fabric seat covers there with the gray style. Also the seats are a little bit more open, so they probably will deliver you a little bit more comfort then too. And those zippers, have you seen those all around the vehicle in the front surface here of the seats? And indeed, I do prefer the comfort of those seats. They are a little bit more open, deliver you a little bit more comfort, especially because the car is not that large. Here also again with the bright ceiling that gives more light to the interior, and also this bright fabric surface here, gives you more living room premium atmosphere than the ST line with more leatherette and some parts animal skin use. So I think the Titanium X here, the trim, is more premium than the ST line, definitely. Also here then, with this. Not sure if that's real word, can't say at the moment, but it surely does feel like this. So the matte material also, this is pretty cool as for the material, so that definitely adds some more touch to this interior. And yeah, I mean, those zippers here, this is a pretty interesting idea to do it like this. So, when there are then some stains on those beautiful fabric seats, at least you have the possibility to do something against it a little bit easier. And now to our conclusion for today with the Ford Puma. Well, this new edition of that one, I mean, why not making it a little bit more crossover-ish, SUV-ish? That's the contemporary trend, and why not doing it in that way? Definitely looks stylish and emotional from the exterior. Interior, I really like the Titanium X trim here today with those bright fabric seats, which also can be bought then with those removable seat covers. So that was pretty cool. Other than that, the interior is somewhat a weak part of this car. You don't have too much space, but then also it's a small car. And of course, those fabrics are pretty cool at the inside of the doors. But then there are also some weak parts we found there, like with those rubber claddings and so on. Interesting also with the trunk, with his new Mega Box. So, I mean, not sure what I would use it actually for, but it's definitely a very interesting approach. Also, with those mild hybrid engines, by the way, the MHEV function is not only available for the bigger petrol engine, but also for the smaller horsepower output version. Forgot to mention that earlier. So both actually available with the MHEV. Let's see how that one plays out, if it will be lower in consumption, because earlier tests with the Fiesta, for example, usually were quite high in the fuel consumption. Maybe the MHEV can be a solution for that. Like to know, what do you think about the new Ford Puma here? You like it here when it's a little bit crossover SUV-ish, if you, of course, can remember the old Puma as a comparison. So, thanks for tuning into that one here, and also tune in to next episodes.